Well, one important insight that we've been talking about for the last 3 days is the role of affect. I think that one of the new insights is that affect is critical in many, many elements of language acquisition and language use, more so than has ever traditionally been realized. And we mentioned about Chomsky's work in ignoring affect in grammar. But affect is important for sound production because the first sounds are affective sounds. Vocalizing in response to the parent's vocalization to indicate joy and glee and excitement and interest. Also, meaning, semantics come from affective use in social context. Syntax and grammar, we argued, comes from aligning affect, action, with objects, and we get good syntax when we get kids intentional. The syntax falls into place much better. Not some of the subtle things like INGs or S's, but those fall into place too with social use. So we need affect. Now, interestingly, the history of affect in language and in concept formation and cognition has a long history. The early people didn't think of it in terms of affect particularly, or the stages of affect development. That's our more recent thinking. But way back in the early part of the century, Vasilov, a Russian philosopher who predated Vygotsky, and I don't know if Vygotsky knew of Vasilov's work or not, but Vasilov was the first established philosopher to really talk about the social context within which cognition occurs and within which language occurs, that words can't have meaning without its social relationships. And he's very undiscovered. We just discovered him in studying the history of these concepts, that he was really the pioneer. And then after him, the next very well-known person is Vygotsky, also a Russian psychologist who talked about zones of proximal etc., and really established the importance of the social context for cognition and language. Unfortunately, Piaget, who was right around that same time or shortly thereafter, didn't focus on the affect in social context enough, but he certainly developed the concepts of learning through constructing, through action and doing, which certainly fits in, but he focused more on the inanimate world, which was unfortunate, I think. I think it slowed us down in terms of understanding these processes. So we have a long history in terms of the role of affect.